Good morning, afternoon, or evening, kindergarten. So glad you could join me again. For this video, I am going to mainly be talking to kindergartners, but this is going to be three activities that students can play either by themselves or with somebody else. So if parents want to join in, brothers, sisters, anyone like that. This video, I thought I would go through some activities that you can do to practice your math while you're at home. And the material you need for all of these are cards. These are going to be, I'm going to go over 3 games that you can play with a deck of cards. But then also, one of my games, I will be able to use any sort of building material. So that would be like Legos, Duplos, or something even like Crayola markers that you could stack together. Anything that you can put together and build, blocks as well, is great. So I'm going to kind of go through these 3 games. I'm going to be kind of just on my table going through, demonstrating. I'm by myself, so I'm going to be doing these games by myself. When we do a game that has a hand, I'm going to be going open hand. So that means both hands will be open so everyone can see. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to go cut away, and I'll be right back. Thanks so much. Welcome back. So I have my deck of cards. I, of course, had to pick out my Star Wars ones because, as my students know, I do love Star Wars. So this first game is going to be one you might know. It's Go Fish, but with a twist. Now, the way you play this game is you each get a hand, just like in Go Fish. I like to play with 5 cards or 7 cards, one of those 2. A lot of times, 7's the best way to go. And the way we play this is working on making 10. So the first thing you have to do is take out all of the jacks, queens, and kings. So we're going to take those out, and then I'm going to show you what your deck will look like. Okay, welcome back. I have my hands both out. So if you look, I have 7 cards over here, 7 cards over here. If you're playing with somebody, don't show them your hand, because once again, this is Go Fish. So I have my deck right here, and then if I look here, I have all of my face cards off to the side. I'm going to just kind of take those, I'm going to put them away. I don't need them. So I'm going to put them away. I have every other hand. Now, you might notice I did not tell you to take out the 10s. Remember, that's the number we're trying to make. So if you already have made it, that means it's kind of a free card. You can instantly put it into your completed pair pile. But let's pretend this hand is going first. So I can look at all these numbers. I have a 4, I have 2 2s, I have a 5, I do have a 10, so that means it's a free card. Then I have a 9, and I have an 8. Now, in this game, aces are 1s. So 9 and 1 would make 10, because I'm trying to work on making 10. That means adding the 2 numbers together. So let's see, I'm going to pick a number and see if you guys can help me. What number would make 10? Let's see, let's start with 9. So what number would make 10? 9 and 1 make 10. So if this is my end, I'm going to ask my partner, do you have any 1s? And let's look over. Now, I'm looking at this hand, and I see that they have, in fact, 2 1s. They can choose whatever one. They say yes, and then they would give you your 1. You would take it and put it in a pair. But this is also when you could then, there we go, take your 10 and say, oh, I also have 1 more pair. Now, looking here, I also have an 8 and a 2. Wait a second. 8 and 2 make what number? 10. So I'm going to take those 2 out as well. And if you look, I'm already down to 3 cards. This can be a pretty quick game. That's why I chose to do 7, because otherwise sometimes it just goes too fast. So if you look, I have my pair of 8 and 2, my pair of 9 and an ace, and my 10 all on its lonesome. So I have 3 cards left, but now it's my partner's turn. So let's look. All right, so my partner, they could once again ask for any card. So let's say they chose to do a 3. They would say, do you have, let's see, 3 counting up to 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had to count up 7 more, so I would ask for a 7, because 7 and 3 make 10. Now, if I look over, I don't have any 7, so I would say, go fish. And they would have to draw a card and make a pair. Now, if I look, excuse me, they actually do not have any pairs in their hand, because otherwise they would be able to put them to the side right now. So I'm going to kind of keep that in mind. Whenever I draw a card, I can look and see. If this had been a 7, I'd have been able to make a pair. I'm not going to go through all the numbers because I don't want to spoil, and I want you guys to do it on your own. But this is just one game you can play. The game is over when one person runs out of cards. Sometimes you can play it as well if you want to finish the whole entire deck. When the whole entire deck is done, I've played both ways, so it's kind of up to you. Once again, I'm just kind of trying to introduce this, but then you can kind of change it as you want. Either way, I'm going to go to my next game. For my next game, this is also about making 10. So if you look, I had put out 20 cards, including face cards. So I put out 20 cards. I kind of put them in nice rows, 4 rows of 5, but you can kind of put them however you want. And what you have to do is you have to try to have as few cards left as you can by making 10. Now, you can add more than 2 cards together. So for example, I see an easy one right here. 5 and 5. I'm going to put those together, put them aside. So 5 plus 5 make 10. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Then I'm going to put them to the side. Let's see. 8 and 3. 8, count up 3. Ooh, that would be 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope, I can't do that one. Oh, wait, but I see an 8 and a 2. 8 plus 2 equals 10. Now, in this game, face cards are zeros. So you can kind of use them whenever you want. But I do have to save at least 1 for my 10 up here. Because 0 plus 10 equals 10. So I'm going to do down here, though, but I think I'm going to include Kylo Ren in this one. I'm going to do 8 plus 2 plus 0. Oh, I'm adding 3 numbers, equal 10. Now, I'm going to keep going until there's no more matches that I can do, and I'm going to see. My goal is to have 0 cards left. Let's see how I do. All right, when all was said and done, I still had 3 cards left. 3 out of 20 is not bad, but I wonder if my kindergartners can do even better. This is a game you can play by yourself or with a partner, either taking turns or working together. I think working together would be a great way to play this. But also it is a game you can play by yourself, trying to make 10. Now my next one game I'm going to introduce is working on both addition and subtraction. So I'm very excited for that. This next game, you and your partner are going to each need a stack of 10 cards. You don't need to take any cards out, but then you're also going to need something to build with. So I have Legos, but then also I just want to show my markers over here as well. So my markers, I just split them into 2 groups of 5 because if I stacked them into 10, it would be too long to fit on my table. But if you have a plethora of markers, I want you to start with something that has 10 in it. Because here's what you're going to do with you and your partner. Now, you can once again play this game by myself. If I just want to play with me, I'm going to see how big my tower can end up being. If I'd rather build a spaceship, I could build a spaceship. It's whatever you want. But here's what you have to do. When you flip a card over, if it is black, you're going to add, or whatever color is not red. Usually it's either black and red, but sometimes I've seen decks that are blue and red, but usually red. Red is going to be subtraction, is going to be minus. We're going to take away. So let's flip my first card. Oh, I got a red 8. That means I need to take away 8 pieces from my tower. Now, a few things about this game. 1, you cannot have less than 0. So if I have to take away, for example, I know that there's 10 things here, so I'm going to take away 8. So there's going to only be 2 left. I know that because 10, take away 8, 2 would be left. Now, notice my base is not counting. That's what I'm going to start on. You don't need a base if you don't have one. But if I get -6 next, I have to stop at 2 or take away 2. I'm not going less than 0. That makes it a little bit easier so somebody doesn't end up with -20 bricks or something like that. Now, face cards in this game are 0. So that means if I get a face card next, I would either add 0 or take away 0, depending on what color. So let's see. Let's pretend it's my partner's turn next. I'm going to draw my next card. 3s. Oh, but red 3. So they also need to take away 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I need to take away those top 3. Boom. So right now, there's a little bit bigger than mine. Okay, let's do my next one. Ooh, I get to add 4. So I'm going to take 4 that I took away. There's 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 2 plus 4 equals 6. Let's count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once again, if you don't have Legos, you can use anything you want. Blocks, anything. Now, kindergarten, I just want to tell you guys, this is a game I made up. I just was thinking of how can I get my students to add and subtract? If you want to add anything to it, great. If you want to take away rules, great. But I want you to add and subtract. Let's do one more just to practice. Boom. -6. So if I look, I got to take away 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wonderful. So if I look, 3 and 6, take away from 10. I'm going to only have 1 left. Now, once again, if you want to play this by yourself, that is great. With someone, that is great. However you want to do it. If you want to use markers, Legos, anything. Just a fun building and fun adding and subtracting game. I'm going to have one more thing to say, but then after that, we're all good. All right, one last thing, kindergarten. I just kind of want to go over. As I said about that last game, I kind of made that game up. I was trying to think of how I could be adding and subtracting with my kindergartners, and I kind of just made it up. That's actually why I'm wearing this shirt, is because this shirt is about a book, well, comic, I guess, that, Sunday morning comic, that Mr. Werkema loved to read when I was little, called Calvin and Hobbes. And in that book, they made a game called Calvin Ball. And the game kind of always changed. It was a bunch of kind of crazy fun rules. But I want to kind of encourage you guys to try and make up your own games where you're using cards, using anything you like. As long as you're maybe doing some math, you could try and make a math game. Maybe you could try also doing a writing or a reading game. Any game that you'd make. If you do make a game that you want to share, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear any rules, things like that. Please ask your parents for help. And yeah, if you were able to do that, that'd be wonderful. Either way, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, work hard and have a great day. Thank you guys so much.